Good morning. I hear this word a lot on Instagram, in New Age circles, psychotherapy circles, non-dual circles, this word embodiment. Embodiment this, embodiment that. So what does it really mean? Well, I feel there's a lot of confusion about it because actually there are multiple layers of meaning here, and it refers to different actual processes. So let's break it down. So there is first this level of embodiment that is connected to somatic psychology, to healing, to new age philosophy and practices. So embodiment there, or somebody that is not embodied from that context, means that someone is constantly in the head, like, hey man, you are in the head, come down, feel into your body, come out of your head, you are spinning in the head, feel your feelings, feel the energy in the belly, be aware of your body. Yeah, so this type of disembodiment, or this type of embodiment from this point of view, it refers to the a way of correcting a certain state, which is the state of being lost in the mind all the time, which is actually the natural state of humanity, but also it's very much connected to men. Men, we've been conditioned to be strong, to override our feelings, to not feel, to shut down, and then to strategize, to achieve, to accomplish, to do all kind of stuff in the world, in the head. So embodiment from this point of view also is a way of healing, So out of the fact that we have been shocked and wounded and traumatized, nobody gets here unscathed, unwounded, untraumatized. Yeah, so I'm not wallowing in it. We are not wallowing in it. It's just be aware. Everybody is being traumatized to some degree. But out of this aftermath of trauma, there's the tendency to dissociate, to not feel the shock, to not feel the emotions, the sadness, the fear. Also with men in particular, there's a big tendency to avoid vulnerable feelings. And this is subconscious, we are innocent of that. We have been conditioned that. We have been got this mechanism for osmosis. Our fathers, our grandfathers were like that, so we just, through mirroring neurons, we became like that. So to subconsciously be afraid of feelings and be uncomfortable and squirming and avoid altogether vulnerable feelings of fear, hurt, sadness, loss, grief, and go into anger, anger, frustration, rage, anger, frustration, rage. It is said that this anger and frustration, for many people, especially for men, it's more like the cork on a bottle. Yeah, it usually comes first because we've been taught that, hey, it's not okay to feel sad, not okay to feel fear, but it's okay to feel anger. Yeah, it's powerful, it's macho, all that. So this kind of emotional repression and this avoidance of vulnerable emotions, now we are dissociating in the head and we have thoughts about it. And put it on top of that, the fact that humanity overall is asleep from the point of view of consciousness, and that's kind of normal. This is business as usual. Our parents, our teachers, our doctors, our priests, our politicians, they are all lost in daydreaming and scheming and past, future, desires, rehashing. Yeah? So that is, in order to correct this state or to heal to some degree, in these somatic psychotherapy circles, there is this idea to come out from the head and take a few deep breaths and be more aware of what's in the body, and develop this ability to feel and allow unpleasant emotions, and to be in touch with what's happening in the emotional body. Emotional body is it's a powerful compass, you know. It tells us the yes and the no. It tells us who to trust, who doesn't trust, who to not trust. It tells us what's right in a certain circumstances. So it's a very powerful compass. And so embodiment, from this psychological, new agey, healing, somatic processing point of view, it means to now bring the head to the body and to be more fully aware of both, and to be informed. And part of this process of healing, the healing of the trauma, the unwinding of repression, out of that there will be a lot of goodies. There will be ability to be authentic, ability to be real, ability to trust ourselves, our inner signals. You know, we trust our inner signals, ability to not doubt ourselves, to say no. And also we can have much more fun, you know. We can dance, we can enjoy the sexuality rather than be in the head freaking out with stage fright, or trying to perform, or trying to be in a certain way. So we are getting more in touch with our essence. You know, our essence in the fourth way is like our authentic nature as a body mind. And so if coming closer to our essence, now we increase to a big degree the level of enjoyment of life, and the level of having more happiness and less torture. In terms of practices for embodiment at this level, there's much more than drumming and going to ecstatic dance. And trust me, I love going to ecstatic dance, and I love drumming and rocking out and all of this, yeah? But there's much more than being silly and goofy and playing. Yeah, this is important, loosening up a little bit. And I would say the doing awareness-based psychosomatic processing, or awareness-based somatic psychotherapy, where we kind of feel and access, investigate the pain body, the repression. Gradually we are able to unwind repression, which is a whole other beast. So some skillful psychedelic assisted journeys or medicine work done in the right way with the right people, trauma informed, that helps, because the medicine will just very likely can bring you into what we have avoided all our life. Yeah. So that would be the psychological, somatic, new agey embodiment. Now there is something else here. Is the term embodiment appears in non-duality circles, Advaita Vedanta or Neo-Advaita. Although I think there they don't deal with that. In Neo-Advaita they don't deal with that at all. So correction. But more like in non-duality circles, connected to the process of awakening to our true nature and discovering the self as the presence, the awareness that is hearing and sensing right now, which is not a thought, not a feeling. And ultimately that presence, if one goes deep enough into this awakening, the presence will be revealed that there is only one presence, and Atman is Brahman. So this seeming personal presence is actually impersonal, and this impersonal presence, actually, it is God's presence. So as they say in the Quran, there is only Allah, there is only God. And as the Master Jesus said, I and the Father are one. You know, the I am, the amness, the presence, and the Father is the Absolute are one, because it's all one body, the body of the Tao, the body of reality. It's God. God is the body, and everything else, all the trees and the sun and all of you and me and all the deer and airplane up in the sky, it's all a modulation of God, and it's some kind of mystery. It's a mystery, and it's okay. So from this point of view, embodiment refers to somehow deepening in our awakening. So it refers to initially on this non-dual path the idea that through various practices and various contemplations and studying certain texts and having a wise conscious teacher, one will have a glimpse or a satori where one is revealed that I am not a person, I am not this body, I'm not any thought, any feeling, and I am this, that which is aware, consciousness, yeah? So that's a glimpse, you know, that my real identity, the glimpse of our true nature, a glimpse of truth, that my real identity is the presence. Now, these days, in our culture, that is confused for the end of the road, you know, having had an awakening. Now, you know, many people come to me, they say, oh, I had an awakening, and, you know, like 6 or 10 people, they had an awakening. So, and they maybe refer at best to that. They refer that they had a glimpse. But that is just the beginning of the road. This is not the end of the road. And yeah, so now embodiment refers to different levels here. It's pretty esoteric, so bear with me. So embodiment refers to what is called post-awakening, post-glimpse sadhana, post-glimpse spiritual practice, meaning that, okay, I had a glimpse, I had the strong revelation of being the presence. However, I still have all of these patterns of living as a ego, in a sense of separation, and all these patterns of thinking and having deficiency stories and having shame and having some emotional repression again, or still treating people as if we are separate and doing business and treating my colleagues or having relationships in an egoic sense of separation. So this post-awakening sadhana refers to kind of embodying this realization, embodying the realization that we are not separate and starting to live accordingly. Yeah? So, you know what Master Jesus said, that treat others as you want to be treated. And so that's a way of, like a suggestion how to go towards this way of living, although that can come as more like the ego can become more civilized and be more polite and more kind and more helpful, and which is much better than the ego being vicious and selfish, yeah? But what I'm talking here is to align my life, how I treat everybody, a partner, a lover, your boss, your friends, people on the street, even if they are sometimes assholes or they are hurtful, to treat them and to see them as all as an expression of the one, to see them that we are all brothers and sisters, actually, and we are more than that. We are at the ultimate identity level, we are the same. and they are me. They are me with another body. So this is a deeper, more esoteric form of embodiment. So this is very important. I feel this is not happening a lot. Many people stop at the glimpse. Now, at the deeper level of very esoteric, the higher level of spirituality, is that embodiment, is that realizing that my true body is not this body. My true body is consciousness. My true body is the real I. The true body is consciousness, that which is aware. So this body is just an avatar, is just a machine, a biocomputer. And also realizing that my true body is the whole universe. The body of God, which is no different than myself. That's the true body. Now, the tricky part with these things is that there's a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of deep books, and one can study this and go to satsangs and go to various, what somebody said, talking school, Advaita talking school, where we talk about it and we get good at talking about it, but having just some partial understanding, or it's not embodied. Yeah. So the tricky part is that one can become an expert in this, and one can master this philosophizing, but it is not embodied, you know, and that's very tricky because that can be a big block. Happened to me. All right, so if you have any thoughts or questions on that, feel free to make a comment, and ciao.